All right, and we should be good to go. So today, Yale has asked me to show you this new product that we have called BizMarkets2Go. So I'm going to go through the process of creating one of these reports on BizMarkets2Go. Also show you how to pull business contact lists on this new website. So that'll actually give you the names and contact information for the businesses that are analyzed in these reports. Not only that, but after I show you the BizMarkets2Go product, I'm going to show you how you can pull these business contact lists without accessing a report. So without using one of the reports that you guys have purchased, you can pull these business contact lists at any time, either from the BizMiner website or from BizMarkets2Go. So that's what I'm going to cover today. If at any time you have any questions or if something grabs your attention and you want to take a closer look at it, feel free to let me know. So we're on the BizMarkets2Go website. I'm just going to go ahead and log in. So you can log in with your BizMiner information. You can also log in on the BizMiner website and just link over to BizMarkets2Go, and you'll automatically be logged in. So either way works. There's also a BizMarkets2Go mobile app. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but you can download this app and then access this product through a mobile device. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and show you how to create one of these BizMarkets2Go profiles. What's pretty cool about this new product is it allows you to create a custom market radius anywhere within the U.S. That radius can be less than a mile all the way up to a 100-mile radius. So the first thing that it asks you to do is to define a center point for that radius. You can do that either by dropping a pin on a map. So you can use the familiar Google drop pin and a map. Just go ahead and drop this pin somewhere. That's one of the options. The second option is to just input an address and a zip code. And then you just go ahead and find your market area. The next step in this process is to select your industry. It starts out by prompting you to select a sector. And then after selecting your sector, you'll select a more detailed industry segment within that sector. And as you know, with BizMiner, we even go beyond the 6-digit NAICS code. So if you want to, you can even pull up a more specific subsegment. But we'll just stick with full-service restaurants for this example. The final selection you have to make is to define your market radius. Like I said, that can be less than a mile, so you can even put in like 0.5 if you want to focus on a very specific area, all the way up to a 100-mile radius. For this example, we're in a downtown area, so there's lots of restaurants, so I'll just keep it at a 2-mile radius. You can then go ahead and view the map. So this is going to allow you to see where that radius falls on the map. So it's a little preview to see where that radius falls. It's also going to let you see how many locations are in that industry and market area. So we have 80 full-service restaurants in that 2-mile radius that I created around Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So this is a preview. This doesn't count towards a report. So this isn't counting towards anything. Anyone can actually come to the BizMarkets website and do what I just did. From here, you're able to either access the market radius profile. So this is going to be a report that has some statistics, some analysis that corresponds to this map. Or from here, you can pull up or purchase the industry contact list. So that's going to actually give you the name and contact information for all the businesses that are located on that map. As you can see here, this is the information that you're getting with that list: business name, industry code, estimated annual sales, and this is how much it costs per record. So if you had 100 businesses on this map and you wanted to pull the business contact list, it would be $32. 32 cents per record. So that's an example. So if you wanted to go ahead and access the report that corresponds to this map, you just go ahead and click on B2Go Market Radius Profile. It'll first ask you if you want to select a financial peer group for the financial benchmarks. So you are able to select a sales class just like you are able to do so on the BizMiner website, or by default it'll just stay at the industry-wide version. So we can go ahead and create the market radius profile. And you can load the report with just the data tables, so that'll just give you the statistics, or you can load it with the map, which is preferable because you're able to see that interactive Google map with the location of the businesses right alongside the analysis of it. So go ahead and load it with the map. And as you can see, it brings up the map once again. This is an interactive Google map, so you can zoom in and take a closer look at exactly where these businesses are located. And by clicking on the drop pin, you'll have the distance from the center point, which is the blue drop pin, and the estimated annual sales of the business. And if you were to purchase the business contact list, it would also have the name of the business populated on these drop pins. So that's a way to map out the location of businesses within the selected industry and market radius. And then there are these different sections to the report. So these are actually drop-down menus right here. The first section is industry market performance. Lets you know how many operations are in that area. Total employment. Total sales for that radius. Average sales. Sales per employee, sales per household for that market radius. We also show you sales per household for this industry at the national level. And we do the same thing for sales per person. So this is sales per person for that industry market radius and sales per person for the US industry. There's also a nice little feature for this section. If you want to, you can click this calculator up here, which says inputs. So you can have developed by, developed for, ABC firm, and you can put in the client's annual sales. Let's say they have $1 million in annual sales, and the number of employees that they have. So they have 10 employees. If you go ahead and save these inputs, you'll see that a new section populates in this first drop-down menu, client market performance benchmarks. So it'll actually benchmark, or I should say, it'll rank that firm against the competition in that area. So that hypothetical firm was 15th out of the other 80 full-service restaurants in that area. They're about 40% above the industry average in terms of annual sales. They control 1.8% of the market share in that area. Their sales per employee is 100,000, which is 103% above the industry average. So just a quick way to benchmark a company against their industry peers. The next section here is about a dozen US financial benchmarks for the industry. Some profitability and efficiency ratios. And the third section is market area demographic information. So your usual demographic information, which will be specific to that radius that you created. So these are also drop-downs: population, age, race and ethnicity, employment, income, education, and house.
Hey, Galen.
Yep.
Just a quick question. So how do I go back to this page where it's kind of interactive with the map? Like what tab or what button do you click on to get back to this screen where you're at currently?
So if like you completely went away from the website and
Right.
came back at a later time?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first off, you are able to print the report. So right from this page, you can print it. You
Sure.
can download it as a PDF or a CSV. Obviously, those options won't give you that interactive map feature. So if you want to get back to this exact same report, the BizMarkets2Go website has a My Reports page, a storage account, just like your BizMiner subscription does. So if you go up here to Account and then down to My Reports, it'll bring up a list of all these B2Go reports that have been accessed. The only thing with this that you have to keep in mind is that it only stores, these reports only get stored for 30 days, unlike your BizMiner account, which they stay there all year. This information is getting updated on a monthly basis, so we're only storing these reports for 30 days. But as you can see, the report we just created is at the top of this list right here. So you can come back and access it in the HTML format for the interactive map feature. Obviously, PDF and CSV formats will not have that.
Okay.
And then if you pulled one of these reports and decided at a later time that you wanted the business list to go along with it, you can click on this little money icon and go ahead and purchase that business list.
Gotcha. So now that you're on that screen, the list credits remaining, I know we have like 500. What is that exactly like? When is that um, the number of like businesses that we decide to purchase? The
Yeah,
business list?
so yeah, exactly. So instead of just every time you want one of these lists, you go through an online checkout process and enter your credit card information. Instead of having to do that, we allow you to purchase business list credits. So as an example, let's say, like you do, you have 500 business list credits right now.
Mhm.
If I wanted to purchase a business list for that report we were just looking at, I could click on this. I could get started. And so there's 80 records on this business list. So there's 80 full-service restaurants in that market radius that I created. So you would have to use 80 of those 500 list credits to purchase this list.
Okay, gotcha.
So if if you had you could potentially have a report that has 500 records on it. So you would use all 500 of those list credits to pull that list. So that's a way you can pull those business contact lists.
Gotcha.
So if I were to use some of my credits, as you can see, I can just go ahead and click Access Now. And now that money symbol turned into a list icon. And I can just go ahead and access that list. It'll come up in an Excel spreadsheet.
Gotcha. And I was curious, do you know where the revenue numbers, the estimates actually, where you guys pulled that number?
Yeah, those are our own estimates. As you can see, they're pretty broad ranges because we're not getting actual revenue information from these companies. It's an estimate that we're making. It's based off of our own sales per employee measurement, which will be specific to the industry and the market area that you're focusing on. So since we're able to calculate specific sales per employee information, and we know how many employees, as you can see over here in this last column, this is showing the number of employees that the company has. So we're estimating their annual sales based off of sales per employee data and employment numbers for those companies.
And those, and then the number of employees, do you know where that number is coming from?
Yes, that's coming from Info Group.
Okay.
And we have found those employment numbers to be pretty accurate.
Gotcha.
So that's how the process works on BizMarkets2Go. It's pretty simple. You define your area, you select your industry, tell it how big you want the radius to be, and then you can go ahead and access the market radius profile. And then, of course, like I showed you, you also have the option of pulling that list right from the report. So where was that report? Let me just pull it up again. So you can actually purchase that list right here from within the report by clicking this list icon up top. You can also purchase the report from the My Reports page like I showed you, just by clicking that little symbol under the business list column. If you want the business list without actually pulling a report, so having a report count towards your limit, you probably saw that during the selection process. So let me just quickly show you that one more time. So if you wanted to purchase or pull a business contact list without actually pulling a report, we can go ahead and drop this pin somewhere, quickly select an industry. Let's say I want a list of all the dentist office within a 10-mile radius of where I dropped the pin, which is somewhere in Pennsylvania. I must have dropped it in a very rural area. But so from this page, if you didn't want to use one of your reports, maybe you don't need the analysis that goes along with this, you can just directly from this free map page purchase or access the industry contact list. So you don't necessarily have to get the report before you get the industry contact list. You can do one or the other, or you can do both of them. So any questions on that process?
Yeah, I mean, it makes yeah, intuitive sense. So maybe you already mentioned this, but does it cost money to pull the reports?
It does not. I mean, you can. There's no money involved for you guys to pull these market radius profiles,
Okay.
except that the fact that it's counting towards your report total. So I don't know if you know how our license with you is set up, but basically you guys have bought like a block of 350 reports. So every time you access a report, it's using one of those 350 reports. So this would work just in the same way as BizMiner does. If you access a BizMiner industry financial report or industry market report, it's counting towards that total. Same thing with BizMarkets2Go. If you access one of these market radius profiles, it's going to count towards your report total. But the industry contact lists will not. That's not one of our report series. That's kind of something separate that we're doing. So the industry contact lists will not. The market radius profiles will count towards your report total.
Gotcha. So is it possible to just get a picture of the map with all
Yeah,
the
yeah. So
without using the market radius whatever report?
yeah, so this is what we're actually calling the
Okay.
industry
Yeah.
map free. So you can actually anyone can come to the website and do what I just did. They can select the center point, select their industry, create the market radius, and it brings you to this point. So from
Okay.
this point, if you had a subscription like you guys do, you can access the market radius profile. Or if you didn't have a subscription, you could go ahead and buy the market radius profile. But yeah, anyone can use this free industry map to map out the location of businesses.
Gotcha. So yeah, you already mentioned that. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, so that's how the BizMarkets2Go, this new BizMarkets2Go product works. I just want to quickly show you guys back on the BizMiner website, if you want to pull those industry contact lists without using any reports. You can go to the Our Products link and down to Business Contact Lists. From this page, you can access business contact lists using the market radius So if you click on this, it's actually going to take you back over to the BizMarkets2Go website and go through the same process I just showed you. So that allows you to get lists based on a market radius that you create, anywhere from less than a mile up to 100 miles. Or you can get the business contact lists right here on the BizMiner website. And the areas that you're able to get that for, it's going to be a little bit different on BizMiner because, as you know, BizMiner doesn't use a radius. BizMiner allows you to select either a state or a county or a metro area or aggregate zip codes together. So if you click on this second link, that's going to allow you to pull lists using the BizMiner features. So, oops, messed that up. So as an example, so with BizMiner, instead of creating a radius, you would be able to choose a state or a metro area or choose a particular county within the state and get a business contact list for that area rather than doing it for a radius. So those are the two options, either creating the list on BizMarkets2Go or on BizMiner. And by doing it this way, you are able to access these lists without pulling a report and using it towards your report total. Another option at this time, I don't know if you've seen it. Let me go ahead and log into my account real quick. You can also add those business contact lists to the industry market reports that you guys, I know you pull a lot of them. So I don't know if you've seen this page, but as you're going through the selection process for the industry market report that you're all familiar with, so if we hit next, instead of taking you directly to the My Reports page like it usually does, it allows you to, or it gives you the option to purchase the business contact list for this report. So if you want to, you can go ahead and buy the list, or if you happen to have list credits available, you can use the list credits. So those are the ways on BizMarkets2Go and on BizMiner that you can either add these lists to a report or you can access these lists individually. Any questions on that process? I know I jumped around a little bit. If there's anything that you'd like me to go over again or any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
No, seems pretty straightforward to me. Guys, any questions?
Yeah, no, it seemed pretty straightforward to me as well. I didn't know you could do that with IMRs, though. Very interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone taking the time to do this quick demo. I'll make sure to let you know where this recording will be in case anyone else there wants to take a look at it. And I'm pretty sure everyone has my contact information, so you can always feel free to give me a call or send me an email if you happen to be using one of these new features and you have any questions about it. Before you move forward with accessing anything, always feel free to give me a call.
All right, thanks a lot, Dylan.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
You too. Thank you.